Still in the process of balancing some audio here. We'll be starting momentarily, though. Still trying to balance this audio. It's it's a real bitch when you are starting with a fresh hard drive here, but we'll be starting here momentarily. I'm still just trying to balance this shit and make it sound good. Bear with me, this is the first stream I've done on this PC with a new hard drive now, so still getting everything all balanced, and hopefully things will look good tonight for the stream. Almost ready here. I'm still just tweaking things a little bit here and there, and I'm going to have to do some tweaking when I switch things over to the actual game here. Because as I said, this is the first stream I've done on this new hard drive, so I'll explain what's going on with that here when the stream starts. I also have to open my camera here and have to reset that up, so just bear with me for a couple more minutes here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and try and get things started here. And again, I'm going to be testing a little bit of audio here before we actually really dive deep into the game here today. I also got to reset up my camera because I knocked it over in the process of setting all of this stuff up, so just give me a couple more moments here. As you can see, things have been a little chaotic here. I'll probably have to do a little more audio balancing here at some point on the stream, but anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started here, so just give me a second to adjust this camera and we'll be ready to go. Oh boy, I can see this camera really got knocked hard. Let me see here. The problem is, I really tightened this. Here, give me 1 second, guys. Alright, that looks better. Now let's just adjust. Do a quick little adjustment here. Wow, we're actually doing it. Okay. Alright. Just get that set there. Just a couple more minor adjustments. We'll be ready to go. I will be testing the audio briefly here just to see how bad this is right now. Hopefully the audio is sounding okay, but hopefully everything looks okay. I'll be going into the story about what happened here and everything over the past couple of days here in a couple moments, so just give me a couple more minutes to figure this out. Hold on. Audio's looking good, so we're going to go ahead and get started with some more Resident Evil. So let me finally sit back here and hopefully things look okay. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. I might have to still adjust this camera just a little bit. It seems dark where I'm sitting, but I think it'll be okay. Alright. Let's begin the journey again. So we were on, actually let's look at this first. We don't have much to do shit with. Okay. We were on episode 3, I believe.
Previously on Revelations 2.
Mother of balls! My life is awesome!
That bitch stuck a needle in me?
So I kind of give a rundown of what's happened in the past couple days, because it's been quite a ridiculous past couple days here with stuff. Basically, when I was streaming on Monday night,
We lost the girl.
Moira was trying to get
what
to the
happened
tower
was,
when I
in the
was
middle of
with
my
her.
stream,
Hurry.
one of my friends informed me, and thankfully he was watching the stream because I wasn't paying attention. One of my buddies informed me that the image had frozen for the actual gameplay, and that super confused me. I was like, what? That's kind of weird, whatever. So I had to get up, you know, because my computer in this room is the other side of this room that I'm in right now, and I don't have like a laptop in front of me or anything like that. I have an iPad that I kind of monitor, you know, try to monitor the chat, but you know how that is. And so what happened was I got up, walked over, and I honestly don't know. I left the archives of them up because I wanted to have archives of a full playthrough of both of these Revelations games, so I'm going to leave them up for now. I haven't gone back to look, so I don't know how long the image was frozen during this whole, you know, thing, but what I can tell you is basically what happened was when I went to try and adjust it and pull the Elgato plug out and replug it back in to kind of reset the thing, it blue screened my computer. So I had had maybe a blue screen of death or two over the past like month or two with my computer. My computer I built in 2014, so it's a little bit older, but it just recently put a GTX 1070 in it, so it's gonna run. It is 16 gigs of RAM. It has a pretty good processor. Like, the thing's gonna run for a while. Anyways, what happened was blue screen to death. I had to, you know, restart the computer, set everything back up. Was able to finish the stream. Was able to even stream some Halo 3 because it was the Halo 3 anniversary, so I wanted to do that. And then after all of that happened, we, you know, then the very next day, there on Tuesday, I just got blue screen after blue screen after blue screen while I was trying to work on videos content for the channel. So, you know, in the process of texting my buddies, actually my best friend who helped me build this computer a couple of years ago, I had to go out, purchase a new hard drive. So I purchased a new hard drive, which is a 3 terabyte. I was running a 2 terabyte. You know, I'm always the mindset of go bigger, you know, every time that something breaks or something like that. That's why I buy a bigger TV every time I buy a new TV, you know. And so what I did, that's exactly what I did in this situation. So I bought a 3 terabyte. I had to put it back in. You know, and the funny thing was when he came over, I wanted him to see what was going on with it before I just decided to do that, just so he could verify, like, no, this is the hard drive. Because there was also just other things where, like, you know, there was a possibility maybe it could be RAM or something like that. But the RAM in my computer is pretty new too. Like, maybe it's not more than a year old. So, and like I said, I'm running 16 gigs of RAM right now. And so we went through, and the entire time he was here, it did not blue screen. And so it was the kind of thing where, like, I didn't open the hard drive, and I was like, all right, well, if it doesn't blue screen, then maybe it was just a fluke and whatever, and I'll sit on this hard drive for a couple days, and if it doesn't blue screen again, I'll just return the hard drive, because, you know, the hard drive was on sale. It was like 80 bucks, so not a bad deal. Really not bad to fix a computer or whatever. So maybe an hour after he left, went back home, blue screened again, twice. And I just kind of texted him. I'm like, yeah, first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to just pull this hard drive out. I'm in the process. I had already processed, you know, backed up everything that was in the computer that I needed to back up. I will say I lost probably about 150 gigs of music that I had saved over the course of the last 15 years now. I mean, since high school days. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but at the same time, like, I did save things that are important, like, you know, background video game music I use for the channel and for the streams and stuff. So I still have that stuff, but, and anything that was really important to me, I saved. You know, my favorite band of all time is the Smashing Pumpkins. I have a very extensive Pumpkins discography that I've carried around with me for, you know, since frickin' the you know, middle school, high school days. So I wanted to save that. Stuff like that I saved. So everything else was lost. I just was like, you know what? I have Spotify. I've been using Spotify for like 5 years now. I will just continue to use Spotify and not worry about this stuff anymore. So, but I was able to save everything that had to pertain to the channel as far as videos I was working on, videos that were finished that have to go up. All that stuff was saved. So I didn't have to worry about any of that kind of shit. So thankfully, we didn't lose any of that shit, and that's good for everyone. So nothing is going
Let's search
unhinged. If
inside.
anything, I lost 2 days of progress on stuff, so things aren't going to be as rough as I thought. But unfortunately, that's not where the computer trouble story ends. So basically, what happened after that was I installed the new hard drive on Tuesday. You know, got the Windows 10. You know, made a Windows 10 USB boot disk. Went to install that, installed all that, got it all done, and you know, I was under the impression that with Windows 10, because it was a digital license is what I have for my copy of Windows 10. It was upgraded from a Windows 8.1 disk that I no longer know where that is. I just assumed, oh, it's a digital license. I literally log into my, you know, Microsoft account that I've had for, you know, the past 12 years, and everything will be okay. Well, that wasn't the case. And yesterday I had to spend about 3 hours with Microsoft tech support getting to prove to them, you know, what had happened in this situation. And, you know, I essentially had to get a new, you know, serial key for Windows. It was a pain in the ass. I had to send them like proofs of purchase on Windows 8.1 from a couple years ago and this hard drive and all this stuff just to show them and explain to them like, look, I'm not lying about this. Like, and thankfully it was able to go through, because otherwise we would have been at a real standstill. Like, I would have had to consider buying another copy of Windows 10, which I really didn't want to do. So
Thanks for that.
thankfully that all worked out, not an issue. So the rest of yesterday and a good chunk of today, besides a little bit of video recording, has been mostly me getting this computer back to where it was. You know, reinstalling programs, reinstalling a couple games. I haven't installed nearly as many games as I had on the machine before it died, unfortunately. But I did install the essential things for stuff coming up. So like Dead Space is installed for that playthrough, and Evil Within is installed. I installed Cuphead today. I was actually going to stream Cuphead tonight. I'm extremely pumped for Cuphead. I was like, oh, usually on these Microsoft things, usually those right away are available like the night before, like at 8 o'clock or some bullshit. Cuphead is the first game I've seen in a while where, according to the Microsoft Store, it is not available till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning Central Time. So I can't even load that game up and play it till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that was a little bit of a bummer, because I legitimately was like, oh, I'm just going to do a special launch day stream of this, play this, because I'm really pumped for that game. Really excited to get my hands on that game finally. So, unfortunately, there won't be any Cuphead stream tonight. Thankfully, this all looks like it's working. The audio sounds like it's testing out pretty well. I think I can make... Sure, whatever. Sure, whatever. I don't think I have... Does she have... No, I don't think either of us, unfortunately, have any of that shit. Yeah, it's been a real hectic couple days around here in terms of all of that stuff. But thankfully, things are pretty much back to normal with that kind of stuff. And yes, there still will be the Super Nintendo Classic stream tomorrow night. Really pumped to get that thing home tomorrow and play it and all that stuff. I've seen people lining up and get ready for the midnight for that thing. I think a midnight for what that is ridiculous, but whatever. You know, more power to the people that are that excited. However, I'm speaking as someone who has a reserve of the thing, so I can literally just walk in at my convenience tomorrow and pick that thing up. So, and I know a lot of people weren't able to do that. But it seems like, oh god, that kind of creeped me out. But it seems like that thing's going to be a lot more readily available. It seems like every GameStop got a abundance of them that were non-reserves. Oh shit. So that's good for everybody. Because honestly, like that, you know, I think Nintendo knows right now that they can't have a regular Nintendo Classic Edition situation on their hands a second time. You know, that was a real catastrophe.
These fuckers have better be doornail dead.
I've been reading. Oh shit, these things are getting me, man. In terms of creep factor. Making some weird, creepy noises, man. That's good. So yeah, as you know, as I've stated before, Horror Fest will be starting on Sunday. I will have a video going up. I'm toying with what I'm gonna put up as the first video of Horror Fest, but a couple of them have been recorded and are in the process of being edited. I just put up a new video today that I'm pretty excited about, which is my top 5 personal games I want to see come to the Xbox 360 compatibility program that haven't yet. And these are specific games that I want to see. Like, some of these games might be games that other people want. Specifically, the #1 game on that list, I doubt anybody else out there is pumped and wants to have, but I want that game really bad. And it was funny because as I was editing that video, and this is you know, this is a spoiler for that video, but you know, this was my fault. I had to go back and just kind of edit. It was one of those things where it was like, well, I could set the thing up again and re-record that part of the video, or I could just put in some text, which I just opted, after all this computer stuff this week and all this bullshit I've had to go through, I just opted to be a little lazy with that. So but the #1 game for that is Castlevania Harmony of Despair, which is that 360 and PS3 arcade game that came out. That is like a cooperative Symphony of the Night experience. It's a phenomenal game. I called it Harmony of Dissonance, and it's really easy to get those two games confused because their names are so frickin' similar. So, that's what happened there. So I literally wrote in there, like, on the screen of, like, that's what I meant to say. And it's just, I knew what game I was talking about, you know, and it just, I said the wrong name, so it happens. I think you need the retina scanner for that, too.
A retinal scanner? In a factory?
So, yeah.
God damn this.
But, you know, spoiler for that video, that's the #1 game I want to see come to the Back Compat program. That hasn't yet. I mean, that game, like, man, talk about, that's a hell of an experience, honestly. Oh, that's right, there's some shitty puzzles here.
Look at the ceiling.
I'm trying to remember.
Check it out. It's got a key in its beak. Let's find a way to pry it loose.
Probably gonna die here because I don't. Oh, I think there's a thing where, like, you have to. I'm trying to remember. It's been freaking a couple of years since I played this game. And I am mildly keeping an eye on the chat, so I apologize if somebody says something and I don't get to it right away. Okay, shit. But that's that's what's been going on with the channel, and ooh, man, it's been a hectic couple of days dealing with that shit. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm looking forward to getting the Super Nintendo tomorrow and cracking that thing open, playing some games. You know what I'm looking forward to the most about the Super Nintendo Classic? Probably more, like, besides playing the games and having some fun with that. I'm looking forward to, and I'm actually going to film this and put this in a shot in my review video for the Super Nintendo Classic, but I'm looking forward to putting that Super Nintendo box next to my NES Classic box on my shelf, which is behind the chair I'm sitting in. I'm looking forward to doing that. I don't know why. That's a cool thing to me, to have both those boxes side by side. It's weird that I can't open that. I think maybe I have to go on. I don't know. It's been so freaking long. Gosh, this game does run really good though. For the Xbox One. And actually, it was nice when I was resetting up OBS Studio here, you know, to do live streams and stuff again. They have like a new thing, because I never downloaded the newer like version of it. I always wait a little bit before I download the newer version of it. this time I just opted to download the most recent version of it, and they have this new thing. It's in beta, but basically it'll show you. Basically, it just kind of sets it up for you, like what compared to like your computer's capabilities and your streaming capabilities, like what all your settings are supposed to be. I just did that, and it seems to be working really well. So I'm really impressed with that. That's some good ass technology there. I know I keep going in the same frickin' rooms here, but maybe I, like. But yeah, for me, Tuesday was one of those days where, like, I literally woke up, was trying to do some stuff with that computer, and I probably was sucked into that for a good half of the day before I was like, I gotta go do stuff. Like, it's locked from the other side. Oh, what the shit do you do at this point in this game? I don't know. That's the bathroom I've already been in. Like I said, I don't know what other. I mean, I will probably test most every game out on the SNES Classic tomorrow, with the exception of the JRPGs. I might load up the JRPGs that are on it, you know, just to see how they are in terms of emulation. But I'm not going to actually, like, for real start any of those right now. As I've said many times, like, November is going to be Super Mario RPG month, where I'm just going to be playing that game for most live streams. I'm looking forward to that too, but this stream's just going to be me dicking around with the system and all that kind of stuff, so I'm looking forward to playing that system. Let's see here. Problem is I don't have anything good. You know, this is really dumb, but I just freaking thought of this. Can I set her? Let's see here. How do you do that again? Okay.
Wait. Okay.
So I let her wait out here. This would be really cheap. Oh no, she can't. She won't stay out there. Okay. I was gonna say that'd be the really cheap thing to do here. What does this say over here? Give me the option to look at something. Well, oh, that's graffiti on the wall. I didn't even realize that. Sure. I'm trying to remember. Is there something you can put in its place, maybe? Do you have something else? I don't. Maybe there's something you. Maybe there's something you. There must be something you pick up in a different room that I just haven't picked up yet. I feel like you also get frickin' attacked again too later on. So it's here. Let me see. What is this asking me? Oh, and then there's nothing in there. That sounds like typical Resident Evil shenanigans. Try something here really quick. Hold on 1 second, guys. Phone's being kind of a piece at the moment. Alright, fine. Thought I could search for something easier, but... It's been, yeah, like, it's been a hell of a hectic couple days here. I haven't even watched any films for Film Club, honestly, because it's just been every night, like, last 2 nights, like, when I've been done, I've literally gone downstairs and just watched some YouTube content that I like to enjoy watching.
And that's what I've been doing. That's right. The enemies in this game are referred to as the Afflicted. That's actually a pretty good name. If we're being honest, that's a pretty solid ass name for these enemies. Oh, let me see here. Another thing that I'm going to be doing tomorrow that I'm looking forward to, so obviously throughout this whole thing I had to go to Best Buy to get this new hard drive. That just happened to be, it was the kind of thing where like I was going to order this thing on Amazon, but then I would have had to wait 2 days and that would have been a pain in the ass. And this is one of those situations like I kind of need this thing right now. And it just, as luck would have it, I was able to just go and pick that freaking thing up. You know, and it was actually cheaper than Amazon for once. But as I was there, I was going to do this, and then I backed off doing it, and the more I thought about this week, I'm just going to do it anyways. I'm going to finally just give in and do that Best Buy Gamers and Club Unlock card, because it just seems like a freaking good deal. You know, right now, I don't know if it's still going on. I'll have to check into it, but you can get Mario Rabbids for like $23.99 if you have that card, because that game's on sale right now. I mean, I already personally own a copy of it, but like stuff like that is ridiculous. Like it's hard to pass a discount card like that up in comparison to, you know, like GameStop's Pro card that is good for what it is, but it's not as good as this, you know, Best Buy Gamers Club Unlock. And the other reason why I've been sitting on doing this and more thinking about going the route of getting that card is because I already have Amazon Prime, you know, obviously, but some of these games like coming out, like prime example, like Evil Within's coming out. I want to make sure I have that game on time because I want to, you know, dive into it right away. I'm probably going to stream part of it and, you know, do a video review on that game and stuff in the month of October, so I kind of need to get that game as soon as possible. And just doing my research on that whole thing, like $30 for 2 years is insane. Like, that's an insane deal. I remember when that thing launched a couple years ago, it was freaking $100 or something absurd like that. And then they got super competitive with it, so I don't think I'll ever trade anything into Best Buy because... Oh, what is this key? Open processing power plant. Okay. I don't think I'll ever trade anything into Best Buy because that's like I don't really need to trade things in anymore. But we'll see. I'm curious. Like I don't even know how that works. Like I don't even know like going to pick up a reserve from Best Buy how that works. Like where do you pick that up? I'll have to ask when I'm there. Like I'm so out of that, you know, working at GameStop for the last, you know, 4.5 years, and I mean, but I couldn't tell you the last actual video game I bought at Best Buy. It's been that long. It's been that long, man. Yeah, I don't freaking remember, man. Like, it's been so freaking long since I bought a video game at Best Buy. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I've been thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and I'm gonna reserve Evil Within, and then when I pick up Evil Within, I'll reserve Mario Odyssey there and all that. The more I've been looking at it, I was like, I can do that there. I can do the other reason why that led me towards it is like I want to reserve and pick up Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's another game I'm looking forward to. And if you don't know what's going on with that game in particular, that game you can't reserve physically on Amazon right now because EA is trying to stop people from getting that discount. So the only version you can get right now there is the digital version, which is not eligible for. Oh shit! I forgot about this.
Oh shit. I really don't think we should go any further.
Right. No sudden moves.
Which is not eligible
Let's
for
back up
the Amazon
and
Prime
think this
discount,
through.
which is ridiculous. So, I think I'm trying to remember. There was another EA game recently that they did that with too. So that was the other thing that kind of set me over the edge on that. It's like, well, I'm not. And apparently, you know, in talking to one of my buddies and stuff, he was telling me they did some research on it, and apparently this has happened before, and they give you like a literal 24-hour window from when that game launches to pick that game up at the discounted price. Like, it's just a shitty tactic that they're, you know, enforcing right now because they don't want to lose money on these new games. Like, I get it, you know, and if more and more of these companies start doing that, that's going to make that discount obsolete. So, but that was the other thing that kind of... it was like a combination of those things tipped me over on doing this, and that Mario Rabbids thing where I'm like, all right, man, this game just came out 3 weeks ago, and I can already get it for under $30. Like, that's insane. That's insane. I kind of don't want to miss another one of those crazy deals like that, because that's too good, man. So, my phone's freaking going off again here. Let's see. Take a sip of my drink here. Oh, man. But yeah, so tomorrow night, Super Nintendo. Probably Sunday night's gonna be. I think there's only 4 episodes I think in this game, so I think Sunday night's gonna be the 4th and final episode of Revelations, and then let's see. Will she actually listen to me waiting
Stay
here?
Roger.
Okay. I remember doing this part, and this part sucks. But yeah, after... that was actually kind of scary. But yeah, after the Resident Evil playthrough, we'll be starting Evil Within 1. We're going to try and plot. But yeah, after that, we're going to try and jump into Evil Within here. Does that shut down this thing, or do I have to walk back Goofy? No, it shuts it down. Okay, cool.
Could be useful. Follow me.
Alright.
Yeah, right.
Is there anything else I should look in here really quick before I leave? Is there any other kind of like items I can pick up in here? Or is that it? Can I even crawl over here? No. God, no, that'd be absurd. I don't think there's anything else hidden in here. Gosh, again, this game like has this absurd ammo scarcity that I don't understand. Like, I didn't. You remember watching me play Revelations 1? Like, that game didn't even have ammo scarcity to this level. Whatever. I guess you can't. It's gonna hit her. Yeah. Two guys. She has the eyeball. Oh, okay. A third one? Are you kidding me, game? Oh, shit, man. Alright. What I don't understand is I have this eyeball, right? Oh, you know what it is? I have to switch it out with the eyeball that's in here. Weird, but it is what it is.
This might work back at that retinal scanner.
You know there's gonna be another
I don't know
freaking
why that
enemy
makes
that pops
sense,
out
but
here, and I have no
somehow it
ammo
does.
for them, so this is gonna be fun. Alright, let's pop this shit in. Yay! I don't know why you can't kick doors open like some of the other Resident Evil games in this game, but whatever.
Moira, look. Inside that corpse. Is that what I think it is?
What's this supposed to be? Looks like some kind of body part.
There's a map here, too.
Here's where the waterways under the factory connect to the tower. But that asshole statue is blocking the way in.
See if
You
there's
know,
any kind of
The
items
gods
hiding
punished
around here.
Prometheus by sending an eagle to eat his liver.
So, now I know what this is supposed to be.
Just saw it. You can't hide, I just saw you. Where is that? Okay, I was like, I just saw this thing, man. Pass that over to Claire. Oh, you know what? Here, let's take. Pass that. Pass that. Pass her some of this other stuff. Okay, let's give her that. Let's give her that. Well, that's surely more helpful. Alright. Not by a lot, though. Bum, 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 bum. You know, I don't even remember the more I think about, like, was Super Mario RPG a hard game? Like, I don't remember, man. It's been so freaking long. I played it once, 20 years ago as a kid. And I remember playing it. It was, and the sad thing, it was actually one of those rare games that I actually owned, and I don't remember what happened to it, like where it is. I didn't get rid of it. It's probably in this fateful box I've been looking for years that has my GameCube games that I'm missing.
Neil,
And
where are you?
Neil, what about the girl?
is I'm missing my GameCube games. I mean, obviously I have a GameCube collection that I've amassed over recent years, but like I'm talking about when I originally owned the system back when it came out. I never got rid of any of those games. So I'm missing like my copy of Twin Snakes. I'm missing my copy of the original Resident Evil remake, the GameCube version. Resident Evil 0 should be in there. Is that something I can shoot? Oops. Yeah. No. Sure.
I think we're half a liver short.
What other games
let's
I
find
had? Zelda Wind Waker and the Zelda Ocarina of Time disc. That was that great, you know, pre-order exclusive. That was in there. I'm trying to think of other GameCube games. I had a small but humble collection. I think I had the original Metroid Prime in there.
It smells like cow shit.
Metroid Prime's
They
a
must have
funny
kept
one. Like
animals in
I got that game for Christmas whatever year it came out, and I didn't play it for an entire year. I don't know why. It literally just sat on my shelf sealed, which was unusual for me as a kid. For some reason, I just didn't really play it, and then like a year later I opened it and played it and thought that game was pretty good. And I never played 2 or 3. Just never got around to it. Oh, this part of this game sucks. I remember this now. Shit, the more I play this part of this game, the more it just seems like Evil Within. But Resident Evil, Evil Within, if that makes sense. Oh, son of a bitch. I could just blow him up, but that's probably gonna alert like a bunch of people. Oh, of course, I didn't have that. So far things are looking good for the stream here and everything. So that's good. I was actually thinking about creating an overlay for these streams. I got the idea the other night. I was watching somebody stream on YouTube that had like a pretty cool overlay for their stuff, and I thought about it. I mean, obviously, the minute I thought about it was when all this computer stuff happened, so I haven't even had time to look at that, but I'd have to look into it and do some stuff. One positive thing I can say is that a official Marble Gallery logo is coming. My wonderful girlfriend is very good with artistic stuff, drawing and stuff I can't do. You know, I'm a stick figure guy. That's what I'm always going to be when it comes to drawing anything. But she's been working hard on a logo.
It's a butchery for killing livestock.
And it's almost done. So when that's done, I'll be unveiling that hopefully this next month here on the channel. You guys might start seeing kind of an intro to my videos as well. Still working on that. Not sure. Oh my god. Not sure when that's going to kick off, but that's pretty exciting too. Eventually I want to have logos for the different shows that I do, so I'd like to have a logo for Greatest Generation. I'd like to have a logo for Film Club, but that's going to be a while from now. Oh, is this guy... I wonder if this guy's gonna come back. I guess we'll sit here and watch. Where did she go? Okay, she's working on it. I'm amazed this guy didn't come back. That's good though. Seems to me there's something shitty about this one too. I think you have to leave someone in here.
Wait.
Okay.
Alright. I'm trying to remember exactly what you have to do, because I think what you need is right here. Oh, of course. Alright, let's pass her. Am I too far away that I can't pass her stuff? Okay. Alright. Pass. Pass. Wow. Much challenge. Alright.
Follow me.
Yeah, right.
I don't have any good ammo. It's like I legit don't have any good ammo. I'm still toying with how I'm gonna set up the Super Nintendo for the stream tomorrow night, because I forgot that one of my computer monitors has a second HDMI out, and I have a cable hooked up to that right now. But the problem with maybe doing that way is that I don't think I'll be able to get sound, or at least I personally won't be able to hear the sound. So I'm not sure if that's how we're gonna do that. I might just have it hooked up to my TV. We'll see. I do have an extension cable for the controller, so I know that the controller is a little short, but we should be able to take care of that. Shh. Did he come knocking? Yeah, he told me he came knocking. Alright. Alright, we're in trouble here. He's gonna be a real bitch to kill with no ammo. Okay. Well, it was a lucky thing I had all those bottles, man. Yeah, I just, oof, man. Ooh, man. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Super Nintendo a lot, as I've said, you know, several times here. What we got? Any ammo? It needs to be ammo. I've actually been toying with the idea of doing a video. I had a couple good video ideas today that I thought about doing, but I haven't been ready to fully commit to them yet. I've been on the kick of doing top 5 videos. I know I've done a couple top 10. Top 10s are a little more difficult to do than top 5, if we're being honest.
I see something in the tank.
But top 10, I'm gonna be looking at. I'm going to be looking at doing some more top 5 videos. Obviously, I just did one today, but the 2 ideas I came up with, one of them was top 5 canceled shows. Top 5 promising canceled shows. So these would definitely be TV shows that, you know, had, you know, major promise and were canceled due to low viewership or, you know, some other issue that caused them to be canceled prematurely. And I probably will end up exploring that idea. I just have to sit down and write that out. The other one I was thinking of, and this one would... The reason I decided going against this one is I felt it had too clickbaity of a title. But I was thinking about doing a video that is top 5 shows that are better than Game of Thrones. And the reason I decided against it is because I feel it's too clickbaity, and I'm not saying with that video I don't want to convey the idea that I don't like Game of Thrones or anything like that. I'm a Game of Thrones fan. I like Game of Thrones a lot. I think it's an incredibly overrated show, but I watched every season and I enjoy it. I would argue this season was probably the weakest that show's had, but we kind of all knew that it was going to get to that point because the show's kind of caught up to the books in terms of the story, and now they kind of have to come up with their own shit. Obviously, it had a great beginning and it had a great end for the season, but there were some problems. There was one particularly bad episode this season, so... but I just... And not trying to sound incredibly negative or anything like that. I just think that that show is really, really overrated at times. So I wanted to showcase, you know, 5 current television shows that I think are on, that I think are better in terms of maybe the writing, maybe the directing, maybe the story, than Game of Thrones. And I mean, obviously the first one that would be on the list would be Better Call Saul. I think Better Call Saul right now is the best television show on TV. It's a really damn good and compelling show. Let's see here.
Wait.
Which is kind of crazy to think about because it's a spin-off of Breaking Bad. And, you know, when it first started, when I watched the first episode, I was very lukewarm to it. I was kind of under the mindset of like, oh, this isn't... Can you knock this? Is that what you do? Okay. And that didn't work the way I wanted to. You know, I was along the mindset of, this isn't Game of Thrones, so I don't care, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think I picked up the rest of the season for almost a year until it was getting close to the second season starting. And then it hit Netflix, and that's where I caught up on it. And really got into it. I kind of want to...
We have to add more blood? Man, that lady is sick.
What a fun puzzle this is. That would easily be #1 on that list for me. Like, I just think everything about that show is incredible. I toyed with the idea of putting Gotham on that list, but that would infuriate a ton of people. And to be honest, I don't. You know, as big of a Batman fan as I am, wow, this one just doesn't want to go in. Wow, what is going on here? Can I get this yet or no? Not yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Gotham a lot. I think it's a good show, but I have my problems and my issues with it. Thankfully, they've addressed my major issue with that show, and that is the character of Fish Mooney. I think that character is just dreadful, and they kept bringing her back, and just it is bad. Thankfully, oh shit. Thankfully, they're gonna address those problems by just not bringing her back this season. So that's at least something.
Follow me!
This is where it's gonna get shitty. People to feel here. Yeah, the afflicted. But as I said, I'm not trying to say Game of Thrones is a bad show or anything. I just think it's an overrated show. So, I also toyed with the idea of putting The Walking Dead on that show, or that top 5 list, but that would also infuriate people. And I don't know if I agree with that pick either. There are times where I feel like Walking Dead can be an overrated show as well. Like, I really enjoy it, but sometimes that show just... Sometimes I sit back and I think, like, how is this one of the most popular shows on TV? Like, still. But that show is really good when that show fires on all cylinders. It fires on all freaking cylinders, man. So, but yeah, like I said, in the end, I decided against that idea for that one. But I probably am going to do the top 5 promising canceled television shows. I had fun thinking about that today, and I was thinking of some of the rules doing that. I mean, obviously one of the rules is this is a show that can only have a season or 2 and was prematurely canceled in such a way that maybe either it left the show in a cliffhanger or it left the show in a situation where it was unfinished. The best example I can give of this, and you know, it still puts me down to this day. It seems like I bring this up every like 6 months, but in the late 90s, in the very late 90s, there was a Fugitive revival of the old 60s television show, The Fugitive. This came after the great Harrison Ford flick that was also about that. This starred Tim Daly. Fantastic show. I enjoyed it through and through. I'm sure it's not remembered as fondly as I remember it. The problem with that show is it didn't get the viewership, it didn't get the ratings, and at the very end they left it on a cliffhanger where there was a assassin-like man who shot him, and I will never know the answer to who that man was. Like, still to this day. That is probably my biggest question. One of my biggest questions of any TV show of all time is I would love to know who that man was who shot him, and I'll never know the answer to it. Still to this day. Like, I don't know. I just cling to that, man. But that was a fun idea for a video I'm kicking around. I had some other good ones on there as well that I thought were good that, you know, didn't live very long. I was thinking of another really, really good show called Medical Investigation that only lasted a season. That was a really good show that unfortunately ended prematurely. I had a couple sitcoms I thought of that were pretty good that ended prematurely. Like, it's a good ass idea for a top 5 list. I will probably do that at some point. I even toyed with the idea of putting Twin Peaks on there, but Twin Peaks, you know, shit. The problem with putting Twin Peaks on that list is, you know, even though it ended in such a way that it left people on a cliffhanger for 25 years, you know, it got a revival here. So, and well, the revival definitely answers some lingering questions that fans had about that show. I would argue at the end it only raised more questions. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it... so I probably honestly wouldn't put that on that list. Because it got a revival recently. You know, we live in an age where television shows that we loved, you know, growing up are getting revivals. You know, I think of my favorite, not my favorite sitcom, probably my second favorite sitcom of all time. My favorite sitcom of all time is always going to be Frasier, but Roseanne is a close second, and that's one that's getting a revival next year. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm more than anything, I'm curious to see how they piece together a revival in a show that has one of the worst endings I've ever seen. That's one of those situations, like, I have to know how they do it. So, I'm really, really eagerly anticipating that revival. So we'll see how it turns out. Shit. Where's the fire guy? Oh, he's down. Oh shit! I did not even see that.
Thanks for that.
I can't tell. Did she tried to heal me with something, but jeez, these things are annoying as shit, man. Come on. I think it's an explosive one. Okay. You know, there's 2 shows I rewatch once a year now. One of them is Frasier, and one of them is Roseanne. Frasier, I think, with the exception of maybe one episode, is the perfect sitcom. Like, and I know people are always going to argue, like, Seinfeld, and blah, 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 and this and that. I like Seinfeld, too, don't get me wrong. But for me, Frasier is the perfect, like, from beginning to end, it just, everything about it is funny. Every single episode has something that makes me laugh. And it's just, it's a true testament of the quality of the writing on that show, the quality of the people that were involved, the actors, the actresses, everything about that show, just perfect. And I know some people are like, well, it was a spinoff of Cheers, and people really have an affinity for Cheers too. I don't have the affinity for Cheers as a lot of people do. Like, I also think it's a really good show, but Frasier I think is just better. Shit. I'm probably dead from that. I don't know how I'm not dead right now. I can't see shit. Now I'm dead. Alright. We need to figure out a new plan, because this section sucks, man. Redo here. What was I gonna say? But the thing about Roseanne is like, so I guess while I'm sitting here and I'm playing Resident Evil Revelations, I'm gonna go on my long tangent about Roseanne, because why the hell not? Roseanne's such a good show. Roseanne's such a, like, what that show did in the late 80s and early 90s about, American life, like how it captured, the realities of blue-collar life, like it's incredible what that show did. And to squander it all at the end and to rewrite stuff and just do shit with that show at the end is such a slap in the face of people that were fans of that show. And I'm sure there are people out there that think the ending of that show is okay, but I'm not one of those people. Like, I think it's abysmal of an ending. I think it's a cheap ending. I'm really, like, getting my ass kicked here. I can't even run right now. Did that not even go off? Is that what's going on here? Retry it. Let's just retry this last checkpoint. Well, I don't know what that's going to do. Okay. Let's see. This is getting ridiculous. But just, and to squander everything you built for through this entire television show by having your final season not be real, and then the double stab at the end of that show. If you don't know, and this is a massive spoiler. First of all, if you've never watched Roseanne, start watching Roseanne tonight. Plug your ears for the next like 3 minutes as I go off on a tangent of Roseanne. It's a great show. It's a great comedy. It's a great sitcom. Deserving of all the and stuff like that. So I'm gonna heavily spoil that show, but at the end of the 8th season of Roseanne, very, very end, the father in this family, played by great John Goodman, one of my favorite actors of all time. Oops, let's do it this way. Oh, that was dumb. That was really dumb of me. The one daughter in this family is getting married, and they have a big wedding ceremony and all this shit, and he has a heart attack. And then the end of that last season is really bizarre, where like him and Roseanne have this fight, but it gets really serious to the point that they're breaking furniture in the house, and he puts his, I want to say he puts his foot through the TV, but maybe he puts his fist through the TV or something. They like break a bunch of furniture and shit, and it gets real, like not funny, like it's dead on serious, and he ends up leaving and walking out on her because he's pissed, because after he has his heart attack he's supposed to eat really healthy and stuff, and he just doesn't, and they have a big fight over that, and it just leads to this real fight that it gets real serious real fast. And the 9th season of the show opens with them winning the lottery. Like, this family who's been primarily poor for 8 seasons of this show wins the lottery, and they start doing all this absurd shit, like going on these lavish vacations. There's a freaking episode where Roseanne and her sister on the show are meeting up with Steven Seagal on a train, and they're like fighting ninjas and shit. Like, it gets really bizarre. And I'm gonna be straight honest, I've never finished the end of Roseanne for the primary reason of at the time I first watched it, I kind of accidentally spoiled online the end of that show for me, so I knew how jacked it was, and I kind of skipped the end because I wanted to see how ridiculous this whole thing was. And it's pure insanity. But basically, the end of that show, after everything has gone on, the whole family's kind of sitting down at their house, just enjoying a nice dinner. And Roseanne has a monologue where she kind of goes through each character and explains, like, oh, these were all characters in these stories I've been writing for years. And they literally go back to a moment in an earlier season where the family gave her a room to write, you know, sit in and write, like, stories and stuff. Because she used to be she was an aspiring writer or something, like, early on in this show. So we're going back to, like, season 2, season 3 era. And basically since then she's been writing the rest of the show as how she wanted her life to be and dreaming up all these crazy scenarios. They reveal some crazy shit like her sister was actually a lesbian, which was a mind-blowing concept in the 90s. Not that that's a big deal or anything like that, but it was kind of a big deal back in the 90s. And then they like her two daughters, who were primarily dating these two characters, were actually dating the opposite, like they were actually in reality with the opposite person, and that was really bizarre. And then the worst gut stab reveal of the whole thing is she reveals that no, Dan Connor really did die in that heart attack at the end of season 8, and he's been dead this whole time, and she can't cope without him. And it's just, man, it ends with her basically sitting on her couch crying, and it's awful. Like, the whole thing, you're just like, what did I just watch? Like, they just don't properly end it, and it's a real damn shame for a show that's so freaking good to go down like that. So, you know, I have a massive affinity for that show, and to see it go down that bad is really disappointing. It's a shame. But that's what's going to make this new season thing so interesting. You know, we live in a time where we're getting all these revivals. You know, Twin Peaks came back and had a new season. Did that just kill me? Okay, good. You know, we already had a 24 revival, pretty relatively close to when that show ended. I think it was like a 4-year difference. And then we had another 24 revival with a different person playing a new Jack Bauer type role, and nobody watched it. Everybody kind of hated it, and it didn't get it thankfully did not get renewed. But you know, we have all these freaking shows that have had these revivals. Think Full House. You know, you have Fuller House on Netflix. You know, that's the thing that kind of makes the Roseanne thing even crazier. Is like, it's gonna go back on ABC. It's not gonna be like a Netflix thing. Like, Netflix has been this company that's been huge into picking up these revivals of old, you know, favorite television shows and stuff, which has been fascinating to see happen. But I mean, at this point, like, are we gonna remake Family Matters with Urkel? Like, are we gonna do that? Like, where's my revival of that? Like, oh man, like, we've made so many things here. It's insane. But yeah, so the biggest one for me that I would like to see revived before anybody passes is Frasier. Like, obviously, okay, Frasier's my favorite sitcom of all time, but like the guy who played his father, his name's John Mahoney. I could be wrong on that. That dude ain't getting any younger. He's still alive. So like, the time's now, man, to do this revival for Frasier. And I know they've talked about it several times, but I would love to see a flat revival. Just give me 10 new episodes of Frasier and I'll be happy. Like, 10 new episodes. You know, or do a Will and Grace type thing. Like, freaking Will and Grace came back, man. Like, why can't we bring Frasier back? Like, what's keeping us from bringing that show back? I'd love to know. So, it's not like Kelsey Grammer has a lot going on these days either, so. And I'm sure he just kind of lives off of the residual checks from Frasier at this point, but like, I mean, seriously, how great would it be? Oh, I wish I could see what the power weapon of this is. What is this gun I'm looking at picking up? It's a handgun P10. It's probably better than that, so let's do that. I hate having to use those right away, but it is what it is. I'm just playing this game on normal. That's what I find ridiculous about this whole ammo situation in this game. Oh man.
Сегодняшний рабочий день закончен. Отдыхайте, но не расслабляйтесь. Завтра ожидает труд.
Hell is he saying?
A couple of the bigger bummers that I had when I had to change out my hard drive is like I lost all my mods for Skyrim, so I have to start that over again. That's not actually, for me personally, that's not actually the worst thing in the world, because I would like to just start that game over and start modding that game from the beginning. So we might get a stream where I just start that game from the beginning and start modding the shit out of it and all that stuff. Oh, this part freaking sucks. I forgot about this. Okay.
Screw the experiment. What did you do with Neil?
But I also lost all my Resident Evil 5 mods, so I have to reconfigure all that shit. I even re-downloaded Resident Evil 5 for PC yet, so I got some freaking stuff I have to do, man. Whoops. What a fun, like, puzzle thing we get to do here, right? Oh, that's what I was wondering, if, like, a jump up here, if there's, like, a... Okay, I see what's going on here. No, I think that's an enemy that can go up.
Товарищи, в баню и домой. Завтра вас опять ждет работа.
Can't tell. Oh my god, it is. Okay. Let's see if I can. That was not nearly as bad as I thought that was gonna be. So. What am I doing here? Probably to get up there. But yeah, friggin' Frasier. Like, bring it back, man. Time's now. Do it before everybody dies, man. Like, the problem with it is, like, the longer they wait, someone predominant from that show is going to die, and it's gonna make it much more hard to do. And that's the problem. Shit. That's the main problem with it, is like someone prominent is gonna die. Like, can you imagine doing that show without Niles, his brother? No. Like, I mean, the one thing I would argue is, like, they could probably get away with doing that show if, like, the actor who played his dad, John Mahoney, passed. Like, you know, that would be an unfortunate circumstance, but like, they could probably totally do that show without him. And but I feel like it would be missing a lot of what makes that show what it is. Oh, we're both here now. I don't... Let me see someone's. Hold on a second here, guys. think we're at the end of this part of this chapter. Then we get the wonderful Barry part of this playthrough. Oh, for a minute I was like, am I supposed to turn something with my controller? I'm always reminded when I sit here and I play the Xbox One and I hold the Xbox One controller, like how much better this damn battery life is in comparison to the DualShock 4. It's my only complaint about the DualShock 4, that battery life is just garbage. I can tell you how many times in the last couple of weeks I've been playing Destiny, I've had to get up and plug that controller in. It's very rare that I have to get up and plug this controller in.
Was it good for you too?
Of course, nothing beats the battery life on the
Come on.
Wii U Pro
Let's just get out of
controller or
here.
even the new Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Like, those things have insane battery lives. I think I've had to charge my Switch Pro controller once, and I played a lot of
Overseer's been
Zelda in the
watching us
spring,
every step
so
of the way. But if she
with
thinks we
that-
died in that explosion,
Gain the element of surprise.
we're so close, Moira. I can feel it.
Neil and the girl weren't in the factory.
No. I should have listened to you. Neil didn't write that message. He couldn't have.
Ow!
Who are you? What do you want?
if you caught
Put it
earlier,
down.
I deleted the archive because it wasn't the greatest, but
Save?
I did set up
I not
my
noticed that you are
PS4
speaking.
earlier so I could stream directly
No
through it,
bracelet.
so I don't have to worry about
don't you have a
changing
bracelet?
these resolutions
look
on my
like a
TV
woman
and all
to
that
you.
shit. Which is probably what I'm going to have to do
You don't know what's
inevitably
going
when
on?
the Xbox
You've
One
gotta get out of
X
here
is
before it's too
here.
late.
Because again, I don't want to
Never.
play stuff in
I stay
1080p
my
when the
home.
system is designed to do
Now go
4K
away.
just to stream. I don't have a 4K capture card.
You
At some point
people
I'll
come
look
to our
into investing in
beautiful
that, but it's not
island and take
necessary right
everything
now.
away. Whatever
I just need to get a
bad
better
things
mic
happen now.
set up for the PlayStation because using that shitty half earpiece mic that they give you, like, nope. Nope. What do I want to do for capacity? Honestly, like, this does way better. This already has capacity level 2. Let's take that off. Let's switch it with that. Okay. That's all I really have to do.
Stupid dinosaur. I'm so sick of men like him.
You mean men like Barry?
But yeah, so there'll be some of the horror stuff that I want to stream next month.
Yeah. My big brother was like that growing up.
I fuck up one time and
You know, I've got a couple things that I want to stream on PS4. I don't know if I'm going to stream that Too Dark game. That was the game I was testing earlier. And as I was playing it, it's the kind of thing where, like, I have to really focus and concentrate on that game. I don't know if it's the best streaming game. Plus, the actual, like, premise of what's going on in that game, I don't know if it's the most appropriate game to stream. So, I don't know if I'll stream that one. But I actually just got today. It was one of these things where, like, you order, you know, you're on Amazon, you pre-order something, you forget about it, and then all of a sudden you get an email like, such and such item shipped, and you're like, oh shit. Months ago, I pre-ordered this game
Could use your
called
help. Could use your help. Could use your help.
White Day, which is like a Japanese horror game thing. It's been out for like a month on Steam, and I think you could buy it digitally on the PlayStation as well in the last month, but I wanted that physical copy of it, and I think it's exclusive to Amazon right now. I legit don't think you can go anywhere else to buy it. I got that today. That came in the mail today. So I'm probably going to stream that at some point in October on the PS4. I got some other stuff on there too that I guess you can consider horror and stuff. I gotta look. I got a lot of digital games on the PS4. Like this generation, PlayStation, and to a lesser extent Microsoft, but Sony's been killing it with flash sales, like Steam level flash sales. Like I couldn't tell you how many games I bought digitally under $10, under $5 that I normally wouldn't even have given a glance to, but then it's the kind of thing where like you have money left over in your account and you're like, okay, sure. So or there's even been some times where it's like a digital game comes out and I look at that game, I look at a specific game and I'm like, yeah, that looks really cool, I'm super into it, but not right now, I'll wait. And then, you know, you wait like a month or two and it hits a flash sale for like, you know, 50, 60, 70% off. You're like, okay, cool. Too Dark was one of those games where like I wanted it, but it was, I think it's normally $30, which I think is really high for what that game is, but I can't speak to the quality of it because I really haven't played it. And was it last weekend? Like maybe 2 weekends ago, whenever the most recent PlayStation Flash sale was going on, it was down to like $9, and I looked at that and I was like, yeah, $9 seems like a fair price for what this is. So, but they've been killing it with that this generation. Like Xbox to a lesser extent, like they've definitely had some good digital sales on the Xbox, especially revolving around back compat games that you can get digitally. Like there's been a couple times where like I own a physical copy, like prime example, I own a physical copy of Mass Effect, but I don't ever really want to put that disc in anymore, so I bought that for like $3 digitally, just so I don't have to put my disc in anymore. And my Mass Effect 1 disc has seen its wear and tear, and like, I played that game, so as someone who really takes care of their shit, that game has gotten its use. It's not that it's unreadable or has any problems or anything like that, but it's more about, you know, video game preservation at this point. Like, well, I have this digitally now, but I do own a physical copy. If, you know, these digital licenses ever get revoked or some bullshit through some bullshit means, you know, that's unfortunately the... Oh, shit. I think I'm dead from that. It's like something... Like some freaking Last of Us bullshit here. Last of Us has been a game that I've wanted to sit down and replay again. I never sat and replayed that remastered version of it, other than some of the multiplayer. The multiplayer of the game is really good, but I never actually sat down and played the remastered version of that. So I've been kind of toying with the idea of maybe doing a run of that at some point. I don't know why I have to click into it 2 times. Somebody was telling me that Dan Bell's new Dead Mall video's up, so I'm checking that right now. Cause actually, my girlfriend was telling me that that new Dan Bell Dead Mall video's up, so I'm actually fact checking that right now. Cause if that's up, that's freaking cool. I'm gonna watch that tonight. Oh my god, Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. I'm gonna watch that tonight. I was just looking at, like, specifically. I'm not gonna name names, but the specific YouTuber camped out and frickin' live streamed himself sitting in his car to camp out for the Super Nintendo Classic for frickin' 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Sitting in a car, man, like that. Wow. I mean, I guess I can't. I guess as somebody who stayed up late to watch almost every single one of Dan Bell's like live streams from Leakin Park, like, yeah, I guess I can understand, like, that might be something that interests people. Me personally, like, that doesn't interest me, but I guess I could totally understand why that would interest somebody. I would assume that guy got a Super Nintendo Classic if he camped out for that long. It'll be interesting. This is the first time in many years where I'm not working retail anymore during the release of something big video game related. Like this, I would argue this is like the biggest, probably next to the Switch, this will be the biggest release of anything this year. Like, I guess you could throw up the Xbox One X, but I think that caters to a specific market, and the Super Nintendo Classic is a lot more of what I would consider a mainstream video game thing, where like moms and dads are gonna know what that means. Like, your average mom and dad who doesn't know shit about video games ain't gonna know what an Xbox One X is in comparison to an S. You know, they're gonna go into you know, a Best Buy, a Walmart, a Target, or a GameStop this fall because, you know, their child wants them to get an Xbox One, and they're gonna look at it and go, well, this one's only $200 and this one's $500, so we're gonna buy the $200 one. You know, and that's that. Thing kill that guy? Shit, man. I mean, that's just how it goes, though, you know? Like, that's just how it goes sometimes. You know, I have to say, like, you know, I was initially bummed about this hard drive situation with my computer, you know, having to reformat, you know, basically get a whole brand new setup and all that shit. You know, that was a bummer, but now that I have a brand new, you know, setup and everything, it's like having a brand new computer, you know? Like, it doesn't have the slowdown, it doesn't have all these different things on it. And now it's just that careful process of being careful what you put back on it. You know, and that kind of thing. Plus, I have an additional terabyte of storage now, which is definitely going to help with the YouTube, you know, related stuff. Because some of these files get really big. You know, I had recorded a video earlier today. No, this would have been a couple days ago. And I had to sit on my freaking phone for a while. Because I couldn't transfer it because my computer was dead. And this video file in particular was 8 gigs, man. So, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have an iPhone 7 that this video file is sitting on, you know, that's a lot. Ah, shit. Hopefully that's the only one of those idiots. You know, that's the thing. At the time, I was just overjoyed because what happened with my phone a couple months ago is you know, months ago. This would have been May. I was just sitting in my house. I have like a enclosed porch, I guess you call it, or I call it a sunroom. But I was sitting out there just reading a book, and I had my phone kind of like, I have these armrests here. I was sitting in a chair in there, and I had my phone on my armrest, and I had an iPhone 6 at the time that this happened. And what happened was, this shit just blew up and hurt her. That's weird. I literally knocked it, and it fell on this concrete. And granted, in mind, I've dropped my phone several times, and it's never been an issue. The first time I dropped the phone, and granted, from higher heights than this, dropped. It hit just the right edge here, you know, like right here, cracked the whole thing. And I was just like, well, shit. And thankfully, I had more than surpassed that, like, you know, jump program that T-Mobile has, because I have T-Mobile, that's my provider. So I was able to pretty much just walk in and get a brand new phone, and that was the end of that, which was nice. So that's how I upgraded to the iPhone 7. I sat on doing a 7 Plus, but I don't really want to carry around a phone that's that big, you know. Like putting this phone in my pocket's already bulky enough at times. To have something that much bigger, like, I don't need it. Like, I'm not you know, I'm not an old man, you know, who's blind or something. Like, I don't need a phone that big to read. Like, I'll be fine. So I can understand why some people need that, but I'm not one of those people. So, but the only thing that I regret at the time, you know, when I was getting the phone, the lady was like, well, because I was like, I need to get something bigger. You know, I've had 16 gig my last two phones. That's just not enough storage anymore. It used to be. It's not anymore. And she's like, well, the base model now is 32 gigs. And I was like, okay, that's enough. And boy, I regret that now. I wish I would have gone for like a 128 or something, doing all this video stuff, because this shit fills up fast. And you know, the unfortunate thing with iPhones, as much as I like the iPhone, and I'm not going to probably ever change to Android, I'm just not an Android guy. No offense to people that like Android, you know, you do you, but it's not me. Why are you not moving? Oh shit. This is a bad area. We're in a lot. Oh shit, we're in a lot of trouble right now. Is you can't upgrade the storage. Like, you can pay for the iCloud thing, which is like a certain amount. I think it's like 99 cents a month if you upgrade the storage for the iCloud, which I'm honestly thinking about doing, because that's a pretty good deal. But as someone who's constantly filling that iCloud storage shit up, so but you can't put like a new memory card. It's not like a freaking it's not like a freaking Android phone. You can just buy like a mini SD card and throw it in there. This is a freaking iPhone, so it's disappointing. You know, like that's one aspect of iPhones I dislike. That I was kind of hoping when they were announcing the 8 and the X, which the iPhone X or 10 or whatever you want to call it, like that's a ridiculous phone. Who is that for, man? Like, I'd love to know who that phone's for at this point. It's just, that is such a ridiculous phone. But anyways, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent about that right now. But I thought maybe this would be the point where, like, you know what, we've heard your pleas, you can upgrade your storage. No. And I thought maybe it was going to also be the kind of thing where they're like, oh, you know, we're going to go ahead and just put that headphone jack back in because we're tired of people bitching about it. Ha ha ha. No, they don't give a shit about that, man. They're not going to do that. That's the only good thing about falling down. I don't. You know what? The one thing I don't understand here is why did she jump down? When I'm like, why is she jumping down? Like, she don't have to be down here with me, you know. this guy's like running after me. That's cool. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with my iPhone 7. You know, and then I was fearful when that iOS 11 thing hit, because I mean, it's always been very obvious. Apple's never going to admit to this, but definitely with each iOS release, like they purposely slow down older versions of the phone, so you'll go out and get a new one. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? But and I was kind of concerned, but it's usually not right away. But no, if anything, it made my phone even faster than it already was. So, and iOS 11, for the most part, it's been okay. It's been giving me some weird issues with uploading or transferring these video files for YouTube videos as I record them off my phone to, and again, I've said this before on streams, but, you know, break the illusion here. My new camera is literally just my iPhone 7, which has a fantastic camera in it, so for now. Like, at some point, I would like to get a standalone camcorder or something where I can put like actual storage memory in to record videos and take it out and do it that way. But it is what it is for right now. I'm gonna be honest, once we finish this Claire part, we might call it tonight for this portion of the stream, because like it's already getting close to midnight. This is a lengthy ass chapter of this game that I didn't realize was gonna go this long. So
I think the tower is just above us.
but we will definitely, I'll kind of run through some plans here.
Let's look for a way up.
For different live streams, but as I said before, like, we're going to be doing the Super Nintendo live stream is tomorrow night. I'm going to try and start that live stream just a little bit earlier than normal. You know, normally I try to start any of the streams I'm doing between 8:30 and 9. Today was kind of a different, like, last minute. Like, I wasn't going to stream tonight, and then my plans to play Destiny fell through, so I was like, I guess we can just do this tonight. But for right now, Friday night, tomorrow night, Friday night, will be the big stream for the Super Nintendo Classic, and then Sunday I'm going to probably just do a longer stream to finish off Revelations 2, so that that's done, and then starting next week, we will start Evil Within here as the next big... I think there's something you have to do with these things, I don't remember. But we will start that as the next big stream here. So, as I've said before, some of the streams that are going to be, some of the games that we're going to be streaming in the month of October here are going to be Dead Space, Evil Within 2. I'm going to do a no door load mod of Resident Evil on the PC, the original Resident Evil, the remaster HD version. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably going to stream some other stuff. I'm thinking about doing... I'm probably going to do a playthrough of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I think I've mentioned that before. I'm going to do that. I'm going to just play the Xbox 360 arcade version. That's kind of the best version to do now. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Okay. Okay. I would never... I had to literally look up this puzzle. I would never remember this. It's been that long. So to do this puzzle properly, there's 4 doors. It looks like 1, 2, so the third one. Oh shit, it's up one more. Oh, I kind of remember this now. 1, 2's all the way in the back. And I gotta figure out, is it on... on the same side as 1, so it's in the very back here. Is it this one? No. Yeah, it totally is. Because where's this bridge? Or is this the bridge? I guess this is the bridge. Okay, so... according to this, this is 1. This would be 2. But there's nothing unless it's on the other side. Here it is. Okay, weird. 3, which is after the bridge. So this is the bridge. It's going to be the second one over here. So this one, I guess. And then the 4th one is going to be the next tile up all the way at the end. Okay. I'm going to pause this really quick. Because I believe there's a boss fight coming up, and it sucks. And then the best part about that is after that, then you have Barry's campaign. Like, I haven't even done Barry's part of this campaign yet, so that's why we're going to end this after this boss fight tonight, because otherwise I'm going to be here till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not streaming that late, so I actually, whoa, what the shit? I thought there was something you could get in here. Maybe I'm wrong. It sure would be nice to have a health herb right now, you know? Oh, I didn't know that's what that was. I'm not going to make any more of those right now, though. Alright, cool. Can I make gunpowder? Like, what? I was looking through my video game soundtrack. Obviously, I've been I had to look through all that music and decide like what's being saved and what's gonna go. I mean, the biggest reason was I just didn't have an open drive when all that shit hit with that hard drive. I didn't have an open hard drive that I could use to transfer all that music. The drive that I originally used 4 years ago is far dead now. Like, it just doesn't work anymore. So I had to go through and just kind of cherry pick the things that were important, things that aren't on Spotify, and things that I use for, you know, background music for my videos and stuff. You know, one of my recent prized things that I have that just isn't on Spotify and you don't see very often is the Persona 5 soundtrack. So those kind of things I had to preserve to bring over, and going through that stuff, I was listening to a little bit of the, and I think I played one of the songs at the very beginning of the stream here before the stream went live, or before we were actually playing the game here, but Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and I was reminded, like, that's a great game that I would like to play again at some point. At some point, I will probably do a playthrough of that. I have that on the I don't think I ever played through the PC version of that game. I have that on PC now. I don't know if I don't think I ever re-picked that game up. It's probably more expensive now because it went back and pat on the Xbox One. But at the time when I was still working at GameStop, it was like $4.99 for a copy, which is really dirt. That's dirt ass cheap for that game.
His bracelet never changed color. I mean, the living dead were coming at us from all directions. He must have been scared.
No.
I want to just grab all this stuff before this boss fight starts,
End of
but
discussion.
I can't remember if you can or not. Go ahead and heal. I don't remember what the shitty tactic was with this boss either. All I remember, I like remember bits and pieces of it. I remember it sucks. It's like, does that count? I remember it sucks. Let's give her some of this stuff that doesn't matter. Pass. Can I make anything else? Cool. Yeah, make another one of those. Sure. That's fine for now. Charge shot level 1. They can do shit for me, man.
This list. Neil had it at the party. Barton, Chavez, Redfield. It's got all our names on it. He sold TerraSafe.
But I was reminded like how good that game is.
Claire, I'm really sorry. Hey, look.
You know what? I'm actually gonna look up really quick, like what the
All right.
what the choices
I've
were.
isolated the best candidates. Good work.
Because I would like to make the choice that I didn't make.
Now it's your turn to
Let's see if we
fulfill
can
your
figure
end.
that out really quick here.
What did you?
You wanted an Ouroboros sample, now you've got it. Lapdog.
And I apologize with my voice
Shit
right
about
now.
me.
It's kind of going in and out. It's this.
I know
weather
you were
change is
Lansdale's
all over the
puppet.
place for me right now.
When Velcro incited the Terra
Happened a
Grigia
couple weeks
panic
ago,
7
too,
years ago,
where
the
we were
FBC
starting,
was
like,
pulling the strings.
We were starting to
The
hear
old
in the
man
Chicago
went
area
down.
to
He was
have-
smart enough to pass the torch before he did.
Excuse me. Why is Revelations not coming up
Because you're an
anymore?
idiot.
I'll tell
You thought you could create a new terrorist threat to justify the FBC.
A monster like you could never understand.
Excuse me. Right now, especially in the frickin' Chicago area, like we just came off of a week of some
Claire?
of the
Are you
most
crying?
record high temperatures in September
I'm-
ever. I think we broke like a bunch
just
of
learning to see a little more
different
clearly.
records, and I don't understand. Why can't I just find an achievement guide here? Because I just want to know, like, what your achievement guide. Okay, I just want to know. Episode 1. Just give me a second here. I'm checking. Clear episode 1 using only the knife. Okay, that's. Here's secret achievements. Escape from the detention center. Okay. I don't know if there is. Oh, I see. Okay. They do it by episode. Okay. Oh, okay. At the end of the Claire's episode, there will be a choice to finish the boss. Well, let's see here. Let me look at my achievements because I'm curious. See my achievements. Whoops. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to flip this over to my achievements here. Whatever. I apologize. Try to keep this as quick as possible. Moria defeats Neil, okay. Okay, so I'll do the Claire one this time. Alright, that's all I wanted to know. Anyways, as I was saying, we're coming off of record high temperatures in the Chicago area right now. Like, there's been some really shitty weather, but this is after, like, we had a situation where it started to get cool. Excuse me. It started to get cooler, and that was cool. That was nice. Everything was, looking fine, whatever. And then this last week it got blazing hot, like 90s, like mid to high 90s. And now we're, today I think the high was like 71. Tomorrow the high is 68. Like, extreme temperature changes to the point where, for me, like, it always screws with me. Like, I don't really have allergies anymore. I used to as a kid, but I don't anymore. But temperature change, for some reason, just screws with my sinuses and my throat, especially. It sucks. It's not fun.
Neil!
It always takes a couple days to adjust. The problem last time was
right.
it took a couple days to adjust, and then it just got warm again. And then I had to adjust again, and now it's been fine for a week. And then we hit yesterday. It was a little bit cooler, but today was the first day where it's like, oh shit, it's really cool right now, and it got better. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun to do that, to get that all sorted out. I'm trying to figure out if that's a glare on my TV I'm seeing, or what this thing is.
Ouroboros! It's not death! It's power!
I think it was just that part of that cutscene. There was like a weird line on my TV that I'm like, or line, but like a little patch, and I was like, there's something going wrong with my TV, but no, it's fine. I love how this guy just looks like a bullshit version of Nemesis. Alright, this part sucks.
Neil! I trusted you! TerraSave was built to save people! It's in the goddamn name!
I remember the first time I fought this boss, it took a couple tries to kill him. Okay.
Better hope someone saves you!
Not a fun boss to fight, that's for sure. But yeah, it's been a weird, interesting week here. Add to all those problems on Sunday. If you watch Chandler and you follow, like I don't think I've ever put out. I recorded a video and I ended up getting rid of it. And I was gonna do a video all about my health problems from last year and how I lost a bunch of weight, that kind of stuff. And never. I recorded it. I didn't think it was the greatest, so I'm gonna read it at some point. That's on the very, very low background. Things to do with the channel, but shit, this guy's strong. But you know, I was, you know, recently like at my lowest in terms of weight. You know, when I hit my low point last year, I weighed 370 pounds, and which is ridiculous. Like I can't even describe to you how awful that is as a person. You know, at my lowest, and this was during a time that I was particularly sick, I got all the way down to 283, but I was really sick at the time, and I'd lost a lot of water weight and stuff, and that's why I maintained that I got that low for me. Currently, I weigh about I think the last time I weighed myself, I'm at 318 right now, so I have gained a little bit of that weight back. I'm also eating, you know, more than I was eating a year ago because I was sick. I definitely eat a lot more healthier than I used to, but I used to eat food was my big vice. Everybody has a big vice, and mine was kind of did me in for a while. But so I've been, you know, obviously in the last year I've lost a lot of weight. I've taken my walk every day. Someday, you know, for a while I was doing 2 walks a day, and in late August I hurt my ankle really bad. I had to take, I think, 2 days off from walking at all. I was doing 1-day walks for a while, then I got back on the kick for doing 2-day walks. Then we had this awful heat wave happen, and I would finish, you know, my first walk for the day, and I was just so drenched with sweat, and I didn't want to do another walk. Like, it was physically exhausting because it was so hot outside. So what you know, I was off the rocker for doing that for a bit. But then I went to get back on the kick of doing walks. And literally this past Sunday, I was out with my girlfriend and I tripped again. Same exact freaking ankle. Thankfully, it wasn't as bad this time. I had to wear a brace thing for a couple days. That helped realign it, and kind of relax the muscles and stuff. And it's fine now. Today was the first day I went outside and walked without wearing the brace. And it was perfectly fine. So it's not nearly as bad as I did last time, but it's just ironic that it's the same ankle. And I was thinking back to when I was a kid. Like, it's like I sprained my ankle really bad, like really bad, when I was in high school. And it's always been the same freaking ankle, man. It's always been my left ankle for some reason. I have a bad, I had bad luck with it. But yeah, it was the kind of thing where I literally fell face first, and it sucked. Like it was really painful when it first happened, and then it kind of slowly healed. Or I should say this time quickly healed, so not a big deal. But I've been on this thing now where I was thinking earlier today, I was like, oh, maybe I'll, you know, do 1 walk during the day. Because I'm just trying to mix it up. You know, sometimes you get tired. Like in this last week, it's been particularly, I don't know why, but it's been particularly hard for me to do my daily walk. Like, it's not that I'm getting bored with it, but it's just to the point where it's like, there's all this other stuff I have to get done or do. It's taking a good hour out of my day. When I started walking, my walks were like a half hour, and I've expanded that to about an hour now. My average walk is about 4 miles, 3 to 4 miles, depending on the route I take. And then I was doing the 2 mile, or the 2 walk a day, kick, and then today I had this notion of like, I have this exercise plan, and I was thinking of doing that. And I was totally thinking of doing an exercise bike, and I don't know. Like, I probably will. I mean, when winter hits, I'm not going to be able to walk outside anymore. And I do have a treadmill, but there is, believe me, there is a big difference between treadmill walking and walking outside. And you will be reminded that if you switch over how much harder walking on a treadmill is. That is dead. No. I need this guy to get downstairs. Problem is he's gonna keep staying up there. There we go. But I need to get back on the kick at 2 walks a day. Boss sucks, man. He does really suck. Totally seemed like there was something hidden back there. Come on. Get him over here and do this. But yeah, I've been doing all sorts of stuff. I've been looking into some other things, and honestly, I'm looking at going back to being a little more strict with my diet, because I've kind of let it go in the last month, like just, not like bad, like I'm not sitting down like pounding down, you know, McDonald's cheeseburgers or anything like that, you know, like I used to, that's for sure, but, you know, just other things like, my big passion is Mexican food, like I love Mexican food, and I eat it too, I feel like I'm eating it too frequently now, to the point where it's like, I need to slow some of this down. I eat it so frequently. There's a little restaurant that's by me, like maybe 10 minutes from the house, that I just personally, I think it's the best Mexican restaurant in the area, and they have just the best food, and I go there really frequently, and to the point we go there so often that the waitress like knows our order now. The last time we were there, she just looked at us and like pretty much repeated what we normally order, and it was like, yep, we probably come here too frequently now. But it's really good. And then I got on this kick of like, I want to try every single Mexican restaurant in the area that I live in and decide what one's the best one, even though the one that I like to go to the most, it is frickin' the best one in the area. And you know, I pretty much decided that, you know. And I have to say, like, we've been to some good, we've been to some bad. My girlfriend, this particular one, like I've been to all these other restaurants now, like Mexican restaurants in the last like 2 months, and the one that we continue to go back to is still the best of them. Like we went to one other one that's in the area that I thought was a very close second, but the one that we normally go to just inches it out just ever so slightly, because they have a particular quesadilla that they make that just is out of this world, man. The best quesadilla I've ever had. It's really good stuff. So. But there's a couple really good Mexican restaurants in the area that I live in that I really enjoy going to. And one really bad one that just recently opened up that is part of this guy's business, and this is the part that doesn't make sense to me. It's actually the third location for his business that he owns. And I was really excited about going to this particular restaurant for various reasons. One of them is it actually went into a old pizza hut I grew up going to as a kid. That in I was curious not only about the quality of the food, because I love Mexican food, but also, you know, it was the kind of situation where I wanted to know what the remodeling was like, what this building looked like on the inside and stuff. And the whole thing was just an utter disappointment. Like, the food was bad. They served us a burrito. We both had burritos that day, and I had a chicken burrito. It was cold, and the cheese was not even melted on it, and that's really bad. And then she was telling me, my girlfriend, I didn't notice this, but when we first sat down at this restaurant, and again, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, we first sat down at this restaurant, and they bring you, like most Mexican restaurants will bring you like complimentary chips and salsa. It's like a staple of pretty much any Mexican restaurant. I'll tell you right now, if you go to a Mexican restaurant, you're not getting chips and salsa for free, and they're real scumbags. Like, that's not a real Mexican restaurant. So we go into this place, we sit down, you know, fine, whatever. They bring to us, I actually thought the presentation of this was kind of cool. There were 3 different salsas you could choose from, and it was in kind of a cool container. I wasn't really paying attention, but apparently what she told me, my girlfriend, is later on, she told me that she's about 95% sure that they took this salsa from a different table that had already eaten out of it and just gave it to us, which is obviously a huge no-no anywhere, and that's a huge turn-off to any restaurant. Now, I didn't see it, but she did, so I'll take her word for it, so. But just, and the sad thing was, I thought the chips and salsa were the best part. Like, we got a, my staple for any Mexican restaurant is how good your quesadilla is. I thought their quesadilla was pretty bad. And there's really good in here. And I thought their quesadilla was really bad. And then that cold burrito just was like, what? And so it just came off as bad, like really bad. And the thing about it, the worst part about this entire thing is, like, right around the freaking corner from this place is a better Mexican restaurant. Not my personal favorite one, but one of the ones that I really like. And it's been probably in town for like 15 years now, probably more. It's probably been like 12. And it's just like, why would you open this freaking location? You already own 2 other ones with your name on it. And why would you put it next to a staple of this town? Like, I don't understand that mentality. I don't think it's going to last. And the thing is, like, other people I know that are huge fans of this particular Mexican restaurant franchise, have told me, like, oh, you need to go to the home location. It's so much better. The food's really good, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, you know, it's funny because the home location of this Mexican restaurant is actually on the way to my buddy's house that we go to and watch wrestling every pay-per-view, which is like every couple of weeks. And every time I think, I'm like, oh, maybe, you know, on the way we should just try this place over there and see what it's like. And then we end up just going to the place that we like instead. So, I mean, you can't beat it. Like, their prices are really good. You know, it ain't nothing to look at, I'll tell you, going into it. But the food is just always good. So, and that's all that really matters in the end. Like, it can look kind of dumpy and still have really excellent food. I need this place. It's going to take me freaking forever. If I die, we'll probably just end the stream and we'll pick up and this grass for the stream. This is just, I'm hitting a wall here where it's like, I'm really tired and I don't want to keep fighting this boss right now. So, I'm going to try and finish this right now, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. That being said, So yeah, I just But I've realized in the last month or so, it's like I've been, you know, I went on this odyssey of like, I want to try every Mexican restaurant in the area and see which one's the best one. And then I realized last month, I'm like, you know, for as much as I like Mexican food, I'm pretty much, you know, the healthiest I can there. You know, most of the tacos and stuff I get are either shrimp tacos or shrimp burrito or something with shrimp. I'm not getting like beef or chicken for the most part. I got chicken that one day. But I just, you know, I got this resume. Yeah, this isn't probably the best thing for me to eat every single, you know, every couple of days or, you know, every week or something like that. So I'm gonna try and slow it down a little bit with that kind of stuff. That'll definitely help. Yeah, I mean, otherwise I eat very healthy. Like I have eggs every morning. I mean, compared to what I eat, my used to breakfast, like it's pretty disgusting when you think about it today. My original breakfast before I had my medical issues, before they told me before this bill, what am I talking about? Before this, before I had my health problems, I was told I need to lose weight and stuff. My breakfast, I'll tell you, it's disgusting. I would wake up this is every morning, every single morning. I would wake up, I would have 2 frozen breakfast burritos. I would have 2 bagels with cream cheese. And I would have 2 toaster strudel pastries. That was my breakfast every morning. Literally every morning. And that's just how I started my day, man. Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm gonna get this right. That was how I started my freaking day every day. And that's just breakfast. Like, you had to add on like lunch and dinner. My big vice was Taco Bell. I ate a disgusting amount of Taco Bell. And I'm not talking about like your average freaking Taco Bell meal where you roll up and, you know, you just order, like, I want number 8 or whatever. Like, I was going and getting like 2 crunch wraps, bean burrito, Mexican melt, maybe one of those big box meals on top of it. Like, that was like a typical trip to Taco Bell for me. That's like 5,000-6,000 calorie meal that you're eating at once. Like, my calorie intake was probably daily like 20 or 30,000 calories. Like, it was absurd. And then, you know, you combine that with, I wasn't doing any kind of exercise. I was literally just sitting my ass playing games when I wasn't at work. So, you know, it wasn't good. It legit wasn't good for me. I have to be done with it. I cannot believe that. It wasn't good for me, man. There was one time I remember, and this was early in the days, I think I was really fat. There was one day I remember, I literally got like Taco Bell for dinner, and this would have been like 6-7 o'clock at night. And then I turned around at like 11 o'clock at night, went to McDonald's and got like a Big Mac and like something like, I mean, I was ridiculous, man. Just the amount of food and shit I was eating, it was insane. It was insane. I was literally killing myself every day with food. And so, like I said, I had the health scare that needed to wake me up to be like, you need to eat healthier. You need to start doing the right thing. You need to get off your ass and start exercising and stuff. Like, I don't do anything crazy. Like, I literally just walk. So, and like I said, on average, I walk like 8 miles a day. Not doing that right now. There's no way I have no ammo to beat this guy right now. And the problem is, I guess I could try and get him to... I'm gonna laugh if that kills me. Problem is I'm close to being dead right now. I don't think it's gonna happen right now. Problem is I don't have anything to light him on fire. I have no, like, ammo to do so. Where did he go? He jumped up there, didn't he? I don't think there's anything else I can use to blow him up right now. No, there isn't. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely in the last month it's been kind of a wake-up call. I've realized, like, over the course of the last, like, 3 months, I've slowly gone a little up, like, not to the point where I'm like, oh shit, I'm, you know, 370 pounds again. Definitely not. I'm getting close to 320 here. Oh shit, I need to start buckling down again and getting back on track fully. So. I've been doing some other things though too. Like I've been really getting into making my own ramen noodle cups. Like my actual own. Like I get my own noodles. I get my own meat and herbs and stuff and throw them into just mason jars and stuff, and you know, you pre-make them. I make like almost like a curry type broth for it, and then you literally just heat up some water, throw it in there, shake it around, throw it in a bowl, and you're good to go. That's been working out really well. I've actually been enjoying that. Otherwise I eat like a lot of sandwiches and stuff, and again, nothing crazy out there, like unhealthy or anything like that. My one vice at the end of every day is I eat a bowl of cereal. My kick cereal right now is Honey Nut Cheerios Medley. I just really like it. So, but that's my big vice. That's like my one vice a day. So, and I still eat, you know, frequently eat pizza. I make my own. It's very rare that I eat pizza out anymore. Occasionally when I go to some of these wrestling events and stuff, I will eat like a piece of Little Caesars cheese pizza or something, but for the most part I make my own pizza. I put a lot of basil on it and stuff. That's what I do now. So, but anyways, guys, we're gonna end this stream here right now because I'm pretty exhausted. The next Revelation stream will be Sunday night. I'm going to try and start it early so we can just plow through the rest of this freaking game and be done with Revelations 2. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to try and shoot for about 7:30. We're going to be streaming the Super Nintendo Classic. We're going to go through pretty much each game, kind of test it out, play it. I might even I'll probably end up getting sucked into one of the games on it, and that'll be how the stream goes. But I'm gonna be streaming it, giving my, you know, impressions of everything that has to do with it. That'll be tomorrow night. Probably I'm gonna shoot for 7:30. It might be 8 o'clock, but I'm gonna really push to try and get going at about 7:30 here. So, and then Horror Fest starts next week. You know, we're kicking things off here on the channel with Horror Fest. A bunch of movie reviews, a bunch of horror movie reviews, a bunch of other stuff. In fact, I'm going to sit up here so you guys can see me better on the camera. Wow. My eyes are killing me right now. But yeah, that'll be starting end of this week on the channel. So there'll be a bunch of horror movie reviews. There's going to be 2 episodes of The Greatest Generation, which is my Xbox 360 show. One of those games is Dead Space. The other is going to be both Condemned games, Condemned 1 and Condemned 2. Those will be sometime this month as well. And then there'll be a lot of live streams, like I said, next week after Revelations 2 is hopefully done on Sunday. We're going to do a full playthrough of the original Evil Within. I'll be playing on PC for the first time. Never played it on PC. I believe I played it on Xbox One when it came out. Then I'm going to be doing a PC run of Dead Space, the original Dead Space. And then after that will be Symphony of the Night. And then here and in between, there's going to be a couple random like Steam horror games. Or like one day I might stream that White Day game I just got for the PS4. So... but that'll be for the month of October. There'll be horror stuff, you know, and content will be flowing pretty steadily through that month. The one and only horror thing that's not happening in the month of October is I plan on doing a launch day stream of Super Mario Odyssey, which will be on the 27th of October, in gearing up preparation for reviewing that game and everything on the channel. But I plan on doing a big stream of Super Mario Odyssey that first day, so that's why I said early in the stream I'm going to go and just bite the bullet and get that Best Buy card. So I want to get that game as soon as possible. But yeah, anyways, check out the videos and stuff on the channel. I just put up a video today which is top 5 backwards compat Xbox One games that I would like to see hit the program that haven't hit it yet. You know, obviously they're my games that I want to see hit. Everybody's opinion is going to be different, and there will be other videos and stuff coming starting Sunday. The big horror fest here begins at the channel. So anyways, guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for watching the stream tonight. I know it kind of, you know, went in and out and everything, and I'm still balancing the audio after getting this new hard drive on my computer and resetting and configuring everything up. But yeah, check it out, and tomorrow night we'll be streaming the Super Nintendo Classic and having some fun with that. So anyways, guys, glad for, you know, sticking around. If you've never been on the channel before, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Help things out. So anyways, guys, thanks for checking everything out. Hope you all have a good evening.